Coming up right now on Q30 News, Senior Week is right around the corner. Find out the details and how long you have to buy your ticket.
And a Connecticut lieutenant speaks to QU students about police and the media. The news starts now.
Live from the Ed McMahon Center, this is the Q30 News Nightcast.
Good evening, Quinnipiac, and welcome to the Q30 Nightcast. I'm Nick Frias.
And I'm Kristen Campetta. Senior Week tickets are still being sold in the Student Center as the May 16th event gets closer. Any seniors who haven't bought their ticket yet have until April 1st to make their purchase. Meanwhile, seniors found out the much-anticipated theme of their celebratory week, the 90s. Tickets cost $315 and include access to all the events that will take place that week.
Quinnipiac's Montage Writers Series will be holding its second annual open mic event of the semester this Thursday night. The event will take place in the Student Center, room 119 at 6 p.m., with the featured artist of the night taking the stage at 6:30. Junior Justin Goldsmith and Junior Mika Bailey will be the featured performers of the evening. And Lieutenant Paul Vance spoke to Quinnipiac students earlier tonight about the relationship between the police and media. Vance has been a Connecticut State Trooper for almost 40 years and is the voice and face of the state police during media coverage. Vance gained media attention for his handling of the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre in December. Coming up on the news, could a star be rising out of QU? Up next, we'll hear from one QU student who's got a golden ticket to the American Idol auditions.
And students on campus get ready to raise the curtain on Immaculate. We'll tell you how you can get your hands on some tickets.
This story and more are on the way.
You're watching Q30. We'll be right back.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike sub right now.
Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken with cheese for just over $4, giant cheesesteak subs, and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
Welcome back, Bobcats. I'm here with freshman Matt Powers. Matt, thank you for joining us on the show tonight.
Of course.
So your family went to Disney over spring break for vacation, and you guys stumbled upon the American Idol attraction. So can you tell me a little bit what happened after that?
So basically, first thing you do is, you walk into the studio and you go right into a producer. They want me to sing 30 seconds of any song I know. So I did that, and apparently they liked my voice because they asked me to keep singing. So I did a couple more songs, and they thought that I was what they were looking for, and that's when it really started to become like the real American Idol. I got to go into their Coke room, which is the big red room, and start to listen to songs in their headphones and practice some of their songs that I was going to then sing for like the head producer. So I picked 2 songs and then went into their head producer, which is like a real performance with a microphone and a teleprompter. And after performing, he throws up a video of Ryan Seacrest saying that, I made it to Hollywood, and he hands me a golden ticket, just like in the real show. Then, you run out of the room and your family claps and all that good stuff. And they told me that that afternoon I'd be performing on their big stage. So that afternoon at 1, I got to their big stage, and it's a theater just like the real American Idol theater, about 1,000 people, huge stage with, the stairs on the side and all the lights and the screen, so it was really cool. And I performed against 2 other contestants, and then when it came down to, the decision time with that big moment where they give the long dramatic pause, it turns out I won, and then I didn't know what was going to happen after that, but they told me that I got to go to the finale that night. So at 7 o'clock, I competed against the 5 top from the whole day. And at the end of that, same thing happened, and they called my name again, and turns out I won that too. So all in all, against about 400 contestants, I was able to win in Disney. So they give me a golden ticket, which means that now I can go to any American Idol city this summer and skip all the lines and go right into the producers and try out for the real show.
That's incredible. So what was your reaction when you made it through that first round? Did you think that...
The first producer?
Yeah, did you think that you would ever go all the way to the end?
I really didn't. I honestly didn't think I'd make it past the first one because I figured in a huge park at Disney with 50,000 people, there's going to be some really talented singers. So I thought, you know, maybe I'd get past the first producer, maybe not, but to actually keep going and keep winning, I never thought that would happen.
How did it feel to sing in front of all those people you didn't even know?
I actually don't get that nervous. I'm more worried about the people I'm competing against, to be honest, because if they're really good, then I know I'm going to lose. But I really don't get nervous because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's just singing and I'm comfortable doing it, so.
So how did your family react to all this?
They said that they were like sweating and way more nervous than I was. Every time it came down to the decision, that they said they were, you know, like grabbing each other and holding on. But they were ecstatic when, you know, when I won. It was really fun being in Disney and having people come up to you who you don't even know saying, "Can I have an autograph?" You know.
So you were like famous at Disney.
For that week, I was famous. Every park I went to the rest of the week, people recognized me and asked for pictures and autographs, and it was really cool.
So how is that responding at Quinnipiac now? Have you told your friends or?
I've told my friends. A lot of people found out through social media and just through word of mouth. And you know, I walked into class the first couple days, and people were like, "What happened? Like, what went on in Disney?" But you know, people here, it's not the same. Down in Disney, I felt kind of like a celebrity. Back here, you know, it's like back to reality, which is good. And people are really supportive and excited that I'm going to be trying out for the show in the summer. So
you are going to try out for the show in the summer?
Absolutely, definitely.
What location are you going to go to?
They haven't announced them yet, but I'm really hoping for Boston or New York.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Matt.
Absolutely, no problem.
Now back to the desk.
Quinnipiac's Drama Department Senior Project Organization is putting on its newest production, Immaculate, this Friday and Saturday. The comedy, written by Oliver Lansley, is being directed by senior Kristen Banzacek. The dark comedy centers on how the modern society would react to a present-day Immaculate Conception. The show will be performed on Friday and Saturday night in the Black Box of CAS 2. Both performances are free to all those who attend.
Coming up after the break, Americans may be getting their Lady Liberty back just in time for her favorite holiday.
And a new TV station in Texas is heating up during its morning newscast. We'll tell you what happened. Plus, our own Elijah Westbrook has the world news.
Keep it tuned to Q30. We'll be right back.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike sub right now.
Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken with cheese for just over $4, giant cheesesteak subs, and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q-Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
An investigation is underway after an explosion left 7 Marines dead and 8 others injured at a Nevada Army depot. Military officials say a mortar round exploded while Marines were conducting a training exercise. According to emergency officials, 4 medical helicopters brought patients to area hospitals. The Army depot is used for storing ammunition and high desert training. And a TV news station in Texas made headlines Tuesday after it caught on fire. WOAI in San Antonio was in the middle of its early morning newscast when flames broke out of a second-story window. No one was hurt, but everyone in the building was evacuated, and firefighters cut off power to the building. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Hurricane Sandy may have damaged the Statue of Liberty, but it's now ready to reopen. Secretary of the Interior, Ken Salazar, says the site will open just in time for this year's 4th of July. Lady Liberty has been closed to the public since the storm hit in October. So, after much deliberation, the Vatican has finally declared a new pope.
Yes, they have.
And I'm actually surprised it took this quick a time. I thought it was going to take longer.
I know. I was updating myself every time I went on CNN. It said they were still, you know, trying to decide, and then finally they decided. I was like, wow, that was quick.
Well, I'm sure our very own Elijah Westbrook has more with the world news. Elijah?
Pope Francis rolled into St. Peter's Square Tuesday morning, where a crowd of thousands gathered under sunny skies to witness his inaugural Mass. He did not ride into the traditional Pope-mobile, opting instead for an open-air vehicle that allowed him direct contact with the people. He kissed babies and even got out of his SUV to bless a disabled man. The newly elected pontiff accepted a lamb's wool shawl, a symbol of his role as the Good Shepherd and the fisherman's ring, representing his duty to spread the gospel. Pope Francis delivered his first speech in Italian, asking followers to assume the role of protectors. Francis assumed his role at one of the busiest and holiest times in the Catholic calendar. And a U.S.-educated Kurdish businessman, Gassam Hitu, is the head of the Syrian Opposition Alliance. The National Coalition for Syrian Revolutionary and Opposition Forces made the announcement Tuesday. Hito is in place to lead Syria if Bashar al-Assad becomes incapacitated. The appointment is expected to garner more international support for the group that is working to overtake the current government. I'm Elijah Westbrook for your World News. Now back to the desk.
So Danielle, what can you tell us? What's in the forecast for this week?
Well, I know we're all excited. Spring just happened today. Officially first day of spring for us here in Connecticut and all over the world. But, you know, it is going to be still chilly and windy and rainy and snowy. So I don't really see spring happening anytime soon.
Oh, goodness.
I know. Not what you guys wanted to hear, right?
No, not really.
No.
Well, anyway, stay tuned and then I'll come back and let you know what the rest of the week looks like.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike sub right now.
Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken with cheese for just over $4, giant cheesesteak subs, and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q-Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
So, Danielle, we've seen that it's not exactly the first day of spring like it's supposed to be, but what is the weather in store for Foley's forecast this week?
Well, Foley's forecast is going to let you know. I'm just going to go over my weather center real quick. Over here. All right, so today across Connecticut, it was in the high 30s and some even hit the 40s. So, I mean, you did see spring temperatures with 39 in New London, 41 in New Haven, 39 in Meriden, and 39 in Hartford. But as you can see, our radar system does show that something is going to be coming our way, probably towards the end of the week. So we are going to have to look out for that. So we're not really having those spring weather conditions yet. So tonight's forecast is 24 degrees, partly cloudy, and the winds are 20 miles per hour, a little chilly out there. And tomorrow it will warm up just a tiny bit, 38 degrees, mostly cloudy, so the sun will not be out tomorrow. And let's see the 7-day forecast. So tomorrow, Thursday, you see the sun a little bit, 39 degrees, 41 Friday, this weekend in the mid-40s, and then by Monday, Tuesday, you do see the sun a little bit more, and then Wednesday, the clouds are coming again. So sorry for the bad news, everybody, but spring did not really spring. Okay, back to you guys.
So it looks like we got to wait a little bit more for that spring weather to finally show up.
Unfortunately. It was sunny out today. I was, kind of hoping that it would warm up throughout the day, but it just got
Not really.
colder.
Tomorrow's supposed to be like 40s, maybe. I don't know. I think the weekend's supposed to be 50.
That's good.
So little something to look forward to in the meantime.
But I hear that David Hasselhoff was making an appearance somewhere.
The Hoff himself, you're right.
Yeah.
He made it to the Berlin Wall all the way in Germany.
Yeah, but Chelsea will tell us a little bit more about that. Chelsea?
David Hasselhoff went back to the Berlin Wall this time to save it, topping German pop charts with this song, Looking for Freedom, which he sang from the wall during a performance in 1989, made this cause so special to him. A large crowd of people came to support and preserve the longest surviving section of the Berlin Wall. Hasselhoff is leading his support, once again climbing onto the wall to talk to demonstrators. Property developers are planning to tear down the 1.3-kilometer section. The activists successfully suspended the demolition by making a human chain in front of it. And also, Selena Gomez says James Franco creeped her out while making Spring Breakers. James took his role very seriously, staying in character the whole time as a drug-dealing gangster. Gomez did not even meet Franco until he showed up to film his first scene 4 weeks into shooting for the film. She explains that his character was who she knew until they started doing press, where she then saw how intelligent he actually was. Gomez then added, "He's really nice, I promise, he's great." Spring Breakers will be released on March 22nd. I'm Chelsea Barada, now back to the desk.
Thank you, Chelsea. So this has been a huge week for Quinnipiac sports.
Absolutely.
The women's basketball team is making it to the NCAA tournament as a number 13 seed, and the men's hockey team had a huge win in overtime. Did you happen to see any of that?
I didn't, but I heard about it. It was all over social media, all over Twitter. The second game, they beat them, what, 10-0, I believe?
Yep, it was a shutout game. And,
incredible.
And that third game was a double overtime thriller. It was absolutely amazing. But I know Nikki DeRico has way more to say about both of those games. Nikki?
The TD Sports Center was booming again this weekend. See which sports will advance to the playoffs. You'll want to stick around because sports is on next.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike sub right now.
Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken with cheese for just over $4, giant cheesesteak subs, and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q-Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
It was a great weekend to be a Bobcat, especially watching the women's basketball team and men's hockey teams. Sunday night, QU men's hockey was coming off of a 10-0 win against Cornell. Down 2-1 with a little over a minute left, the Bobcats pulled goalie Eric Hartzell. This proved to be beneficial as senior forward Clay Harvey blasted the puck against goalie Andy Isles to tie the game 2-2 with only a minute and 4 seconds remaining in regulation time. After a grueling 2 periods of overtime, Kevin Bowie won it for the Bobcats 14 minutes and 8 seconds into the second overtime period, putting the puck past Isles and sending fans into a frenzy. With this 3-2 win, Quinnipiac moves on to the ECAC semifinals next weekend in Atlantic City. And the top-seeded Quinnipiac women's basketball team was crowned with its first NEC Tournament Championship trophy on Sunday night, with a 72-33 victory over number 4 St. Francis. They move on for the first time in history for the men's or women's basketball program at Quinnipiac. That's all for the sports update. I'm Nikki DeRico. Now back to the desk.
That'll do it for Q30 News tonight.
If you would like to get involved in Q30 News, please visit our website at www.q30.org and visit our Facebook and Twitter pages. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week with the latest in local and Quinnipiac news.
Good night.